This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of January 13th, 2025. The week starts out in a way that will be very different from the way it ends. Keep that in mind. The aspects of the week take us from overwhelming emotionality and shocks and surprises and releases to an unbelievable feeling of certainty. Keep that in mind. That is your target. We start the week with the moon full in its home sign of Cancer. Retrograde Mars is bearing down on her. Everyone is incredibly sensitive when the moon is in Cancer. People are incredibly sensitive at a full moon, and throw in the god of anger and war and action, and you may find that the slightest thing sets you off. Rather than my listing the various attributes that this moon has, I will cut to what is good and valuable. Feel your feels. Allow yourself to acknowledge what has been broiling in you, boiling in you, roiling in you, churning around. This is a moment to finally just let things fly through you, to let things come up. Personally, I find this really well suited to tub time. You will feel much better afterwards. Now, you aren't doomed to having an attack of crying, but if you have been soldiering on and not acknowledging to yourself that something has felt uncomfortable for you, an outside trigger may finally cause the release for you, and it's a very good thing. So this is teddy bear time, it's comfy blanket time, it's being really kind to yourself time, it's comfort food time. Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises and awakenings and liberation, is in a sextile to this moon, in an opportunity aspect to this moon. Something could very suddenly trigger a release of emotions. Something could very suddenly clear your emotions, make you see something that you couldn't before. Neptune, the planet of grace and imagination and highest guidance and hooey and fog and deceit and romanticism and magic, and we could just keep on naming. Neptune is in a trine to this moon, an unbroken flow. So you may feel somewhat anesthetized. You may find yourself wanting to just listen to music, turn on a streaming service, and just binge for the entire day. And so what if you do? So what if you do? This link also opens a direct current to divine guidance, divine understanding, compassion. So Uranus and Neptune together could give you a very different emotional experience after you come through this event. And where we land afterwards is wanting more, knowing what we want, wanting to indulge ourselves. If you get a coupon and email for some nice little thing that you maybe don't quite need, but you actually really want it, this may be when you say, you know what, I deserve. So we go from feel the feels to I deserve, with the two planets of indulgence, Venus and Jupiter, squaring on the 14th. And this sense of I want what I want and I'm going to have it is still resonating when Mars completes his opposition to the Sun on the 15th. There could be another moment of release coming from that. It's a continuation of the full moon experience, and this may be the moment when you finally do release and shift. Just notice, take care. People are really, really touchy. Pick your battles. More possibilities of seeing the big picture, the higher picture, the sense that something bigger is going on open up when the Sun sextiles Neptune on the 17th. And then come the moments of grounding, a process that has been going on since the Aquarius full moon of August 19th, 2024, hits a moment of culmination on the 18th when Venus meets Saturn. Venus in Pisces, Venus in her highest, most loving, creative, seeing the God in everyone form, conjoins Saturn in Pisces on August 19th. She was opposite. Now she is with him. This is a moment of commitment, of stability, of grounding, of stabilizing, of putting a ring on it, whatever it might be. And right afterwards, on the 19th, Mercury, the planet of communication, is in a sextile or an opportunity aspect with Saturn. With this pair, our brains have the possibility of wrapping themselves around whatever the structure and the form may be that the Venus-Saturn conjunction requires. We are, of course, called upon to be very mature in the way we deal with everyone else. One other aspect of the Venus-Saturn conjunction is a recognition of the butterfly effect, a recognition of we're responsible for the energy that we're sending out, and we affect everyone and everything all around us. This is a huge, we are all in this together moment, and our brains may have to play catch up with that notion. But on the 19th, when Mercury sextiles Saturn, something is dangled in front of us that makes that very, very possible. So no matter how overwhelmed you might be at the beginning of the week by emotions, when you finally acknowledge to yourself, you know what, there's stuff I have been tamping down, give yourself a moment to just let it out. If you eat an entire sleeve of cookies, so be it. If you eat a whole box of cookies, so be it. Things will be in a much more solid, stable form by the end of the week. Homing thought of the week: I honor my feelings. Song of the week: I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz. And the image of the week is eating dessert first and then having a salad. You'll learn more about this in my forecast for the Cancer full moon and the month of January, both of which are at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 35 years of experience. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio and TV on the first and third Monday of every month. Last week, my guest was Steve Judd, talking about what he sees happening in 2025. And if you have not heard that episode, I encourage you to watch it. I also host conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and in the group, the Astro-Insight Lounge. For now, I post on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads. We'll see at K.A. Biehl, and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.